you can lie down on the back body if that feels good. You can sort of settle into Sukhasana if that feels good in your body. Just taking a couple of moments this morning to settle into the breath. And just to begin to sort of still the whirlpools of the mind. And when you're feeling ready, when you kind of settle into that sweet space of stillness and comfort, maybe just starting out this morning by taking a great big deep inhalation through the nose. And exhale, letting go with a great big sigh. And as the body sort of settles into your mat, maybe just sort of beginning to cultivate a curiosity about the breath today. Just sort of beginning to examine what might be happening in the body. And as you work with the breath and the pranayama, just drawing your awareness to spaces where you might be sort of holding. And if you notice any of those spaces in the body, it might be in the jaw, or in the hips, or in the shoulders. On your inhalations, just see if you can draw some fresh breath there. Create a little bit of space. Maybe the breath begins to sort of deepen now. Belly rises on your inhalation like a hot air balloon. And on your exhalation, as if you're slowly emptying a bottle of water. No striving, no straining. Just breathing. And as you settle into the breath, it might slowly begin to deepen this morning. You might sort of start to examine the length of your inhalations. And say you inhale to maybe a count of 4. You can see if you can sort of change up the exhalation to double that ratio. So maybe exhale to a count of 8. Just really connecting with the breath today. And as the body begins to relax this morning, you might notice sort of the temperature of the air as it moves across your skin. The temperature of the breath on your inhalation. And the temperature of the breath on your exhalation. And just using that breath to really slow it down. And on your next inhalation, only when you're feeling ready, maybe slowly inviting some soft, sweet, gentle movement back into the body, maybe beginning by just slowly wiggling fingers. Gently beginning to wiggle toes. Maybe slowly starting to just rotate wrists and ankles, releasing all the creaks and cracks that you may have stored up over the evening. And on your next inhalation, since we're all lying down, let's inhale to reach, stretch over top of our head, full body stretch all the way through fingers, all the way through toes. Exhale, you can kind of shift a little bit from side to side. And on your next exhalation, why don't we draw those hands? We're going to reach the hands up towards the sky, but we're going to draw them sort of beside either ear now. That's it. And on the exhalation, let's just bend our elbows, drawing opposite hands to opposite elbows, creating sort of a window frame above the head. You've got it. We'll get into the shoulders a little bit here. So you've got that window frame above the forehead now, and on the exhalation, we're going to rock our right elbow off towards the right-hand side. Our head is going to follow. Inhale to draw those elbows back up over top of the third eye. Exhale to rock left elbow off towards the left. Beautiful. So sort of a windshield wiper movement, moving with your breath, getting into those shoulders. Let's move nice and slow. That's it, Jennifer. Breathing here, moving with the rhythm of your breath. Oh yeah, no striving or straining, just breathing. So the head and neck can follow those elbows if that's what feels good in your body, or it can stay static. And maybe coming through that motion for a couple more breaths, maybe one breath on each side. And then on your next exhalation, you can release those hands back alongside the body, maybe reaching down towards the hips. On the inhalation, why don't you bend both of your knees, drawing your knees in towards the belly. Give those knees a great big squeeze. Maybe rocking a little here from side to side. And when you're feeling ready, just allowing the body to rock off to the fetal position on one side and resting here for just a couple of breaths. Allowing that breath to get into the side body now, no striving or straining, moving nice and slow. And on the next inhalation, when you're feeling ready, only when you choose, using your hands to help assist you, drawing yourself up into Sukhasana, or easy seated pose to start our practice this morning. So maybe grabbing onto a folded blanket or a block if you want to just slide that underneath the sits bones to help lift the sits bones up this morning. Give the hips a little bit of extra space, that's it. So maybe moving the flesh away from the sits bones. And when you're feeling ready, on the next inhalation, let's grow our spines up nice and tall. Exhale to release your shoulder blades back and down. Easy seated pose or Sukhasana. Maybe taking just a couple of breaths here. Inhaling through the nose, deep down into the belly. Belly rises like a hot air balloon. Exhale, let it all go. Crown of head is reaching up towards the sky. Now feel the release in the shoulder blades as if they're sort of sliding down the back body here. No striving or straining, just breathing. On your next exhalation, when you're feeling ready, you can release both your hands off towards either side of your thighs. We're going to tent up on the fingers, coming into an extended side body stretch. On the next exhalation, we're going to walk our right fingertips off towards the right hand side. You've got a couple choices here. You can tent up on the fingertips or drop that elbow down towards the earth. If you do, that left sits bone needs to stay rooted and grounded. On the next inhalation, we're going to inhale our left arm over top of our left ear, reaching, stretching through those left fingertips. Inhale to see if you can open up the chest, gaze can be towards the sky. Let's breathe here for maybe 3 nice, great, big, deep belly breaths. That looks beautiful. Drawing that breath into the left side body all the way down to the hip. One more breath. And on your next exhalation, when that feels ready, you can turn that left palm down, press into the right palm, draw yourself up till neutral. Allow yourself a breath here. Allow the spine to elongate. Release the shoulder blades back and down. On the next exhalation, same thing, opposite side, left fingertips start to walk off towards the left. You can tent up on the fingers or drop that elbow. If you drop the left elbow, right sits bone stays rooted and grounded into the earth. Inhale to reach, stretch that right arm over top of the right ear, opening up through your chest, really beautiful. Breathing into that stretch, that looks incredible. Use your breath here. Every inhalation, it's if you inhale to each and every single rib. Let's take one more breath, just like this. On the next exhalation, you can turn that right palm down, press into the left palm, draw yourself back up towards neutral. As you do, when you arrive here, we're just gonna start some torso circling. Inhaling as we come forward, exhaling as we move back. So Kundalini circles, this is also sometimes called peanut butter ribs. So you can imagine that you're trapped sort of inside a peanut butter jar and you're using your ribs to scrape every last little bit off that peanut butter jar. Inhale as you come forward. Exhale as you move back. That looks really beautiful. Making these circles as big or as small as you choose. I love the listening to the body. Just using your breath here. And let's make sure we balance off both left and right on the next inhalation. The next time you come forward, let's pause here and take those circles in the opposite direction. That's it. Really nice and slow, soft, sweet, gentle warm-ups today. Allow all of those sore muscles to really sort of get every advantage of the stretch here. And when you're feeling ready, just slowing that circling down. Drawing yourself back up towards the neutral seat. I love the dog. You're going to see my cat in the video soon. On the next inhalation, just roll with it. We're going to come forward on the hands. We're going to come into a neutral tabletop, preparing for cat-cow. So drawing yourself towards your neutral tabletop. And once you arrive here, checking in with the foundation. So check in with the hands, making sure hands are below the shoulders. We've got our fingers spread like rays of sunshine. And we're not pressing the full palm into the mat. We're allowing a little bit of space there for the ladybug to live. And before we sort of flop the belly down into our cow tilt, let's see if we can inhale to inflate the upper back ever so slightly, activating the abdominal muscles in your neutral tabletop, checking in with our neutral tabletop. So typically we sort of just sling the belly down towards the earth. Let's see if we can inhale into the upper back, activating those abdominal muscles, feeling the breath in your neutral tabletop. That looks really good. Now, when you're feeling ready on the exhalation, drop the belly down towards the earth, gaze moves up towards the sky for cow tilt. On the next inhalation, round the spine like a Halloween cat, drawing the gaze through the knees, tucking the chin towards the chest for cat tilt. Exhaling to float back down towards cow, gazes up towards the sky, and moving through cat-cow with the rhythm of your own breath. Now, not worrying too much about my cadence or what it is that I'm doing, but settling into your breath, into your space. If it feels particularly good to stay in any given stretch, then staying there for a moment and allowing the stretch to really have its full effect on the body. Creating that nice undulating wave-like movement all the way from the base of the spine up into the upper spine. Breathing here. And on the next exhalation, when you're feeling ready, just drawing ourselves back towards that neutral tabletop, pausing here for a little bit of thread the needle now. So when you're feeling ready, we're gonna put our weight into our left hand. Our right hand's gonna reach up towards the sky as we inhale. On the exhalation, we're gonna draw that right arm, draw that right shoulder, right ear down towards the earth. Right arm sweeps underneath the left elbow for thread the needle on the right hand side. So a couple of variations here. If you want to get into that right shoulder, you can stay exactly as you are. That might be enough. If you'd like to go a little bit further, you can always inhale that left arm up towards the sky, opening up a little bit more through the chest and creating a little bit more of a balance here. This might be a nice variation for you today. If you still want to go a little bit further, you can use that left hand to assist. On the next exhalation, you can always reach that left leg out towards the right hand, or left hand side, pardon me. Inhale that left arm up towards the sky for a bit more of a balance. So wherever you're at in your version of this posture, just staying there for a couple of breaths, finding your space, finding the stillness, and breathing into the stretch. No striving or straining, just feeling the full benefit of thread the needle on the left-hand side, right-hand side, pardon me. Let's take one more breath, just like this, in whatever variation of the posture you're in. And on the next exhalation, if that left hand's up towards the sky, let's drop that left hand back down towards the earth. Inhale that left knee back in towards the body. Press into that left hand, draw yourself back up towards a neutral table, catch a breath here, really beautiful. Same thing, opposite side. When you're feeling ready on the next exhalation, weight goes into our right hand now. Inhale that left hand, reach, stretch towards the sky. Exhale to dive that left arm through the right, dropping our left shoulder, left ear down towards the mat, or thread the needle on the opposite side. So feeling that stretch and thread the needle, having the left shoulder and left ear might be enough of a balance. You always have the option to inhale that right arm up towards the sky to open up through the chest, increase the stretch. And you can always send that right leg out towards the right if you want to work with a little bit of balance today. Wherever you're at is absolutely perfect. Really beautiful. Nice listening to the body. Let's take two nice, great, big, deep belly breaths, just like this. One more great big breath here. And on your next exhalation, when you're feeling ready, you can exhale that right hand back down towards the earth. Inhale that right knee in towards the body. Press into the right hand. Draw yourself back up into a neutral table. When you arrive here, inhale to open up your knees nice and wide. Exhale to send the sits bones back down towards the heels. Inhale to walk the palms of the hands towards the front of the mat. And exhale the third eye or the forehead down towards the earth for Balasana or Child's Pose. If you want to get a little more active in the shoulders here, you want to stretch out the shoulders this morning, you can always draw the hands into prayer, Anjali Mudra. Inhale the prayer over top of the head to create a little bit of a release in the shoulders. Wherever you're at in your version of Balasana or Child's Pose, let's take two nice, great, big, deep belly breaths here before we draw ourselves up towards standing for a little bit more of a flow. Breathing here. And on the next inhalation, when you're feeling ready, let's press into the palms of our hands. As we inhale, we're going to curl our toes under. Exhale to send our sits bones up towards the sky to meet me in Adho Mukha Svanasana or downward facing dog. Taking all the time you need to settle into your down dog. And once you arrive here, bending left knee, bending right knee, really walking the dog, pedaling out the legs here, finding some release in the low back. And when we draw ourselves into downward facing dog, we're urging our heels to come down towards the earth, equally distributing the weight between our hands and our feet, sussing those sits bones up towards the sky, breathing here in downward facing dog. On the next inhalation, when you're feeling ready, you have a little bit of a choice. You can walk the feet towards the hands, or if you want a little more action, you can always inhale to bend the knees, jump, hop, skip those feet forward to meet the hands. That's it. To meet me in Uttanasana, forward facing bend. Catching your breath here in Uttanasana, maybe even keeping a gentle bend in the knees. Slight variation here for the shoulders. If you want a bit of a shoulder stretch, you can draw the hands behind the knees, and just like we did before, grasp opposite elbows here, release the head down towards the earth for a little bit more through the shoulders. Beautiful. Wherever you're at in your forward facing bend, let's take one great big deep belly breath here. And on the next inhalation, let's draw our hands towards our shins. We're gonna draw ourselves up halfway, nice flat back, gazes out towards the horizon, catch a breath. Exhale to hinge at the hips, drawing the chest towards the thighs for Uttanasana, beautiful. This time on the exhalation, when you're feeling ready, we're gonna bend the knees, send the sits bones down towards the earth as if we're sitting back into a chair. We're gonna inhale to reach our arms up towards the sky for Utkatasana, fierce pose. We're gonna take 2 nice, great big deep belly breaths here. And on the next exhalation, press into those feet. You can draw yourself up towards standing, up towards Tadasana or mountain pose once you arrive. Shake it out, shake out the legs. And let's find our space in Tadasana or mountain pose. So maybe checking in with the feet, lifting and spreading the toes here. If we hinged at the hips in our mountain pose, it would be as if we could fit 2 fists between our feet. So you can check in with your alignment today. And when you're feeling ready, when the feet are all settled in, on the next exhalation, we're gonna sort of tilt our pelvis towards the front of the space, engaging those muscles as if we're sort of like zipping up our belly button. So pelvis tilts forward, activating the muscles in the legs now in Tadasana or mountain pose. On the next exhalation, drop your shoulder blades back and down. Palms come open towards the front of the space to receive energy. Breathing here in your mountain pose. Inhaling through the nose, deep down into the belly. Find your breath. Breathing in mountain. On the next inhalation, when you're feeling ready, inhale to reach, stretch those arms up towards the sky. As you do, you're going to interlace those hands, turning your hands into pointer fingers, preparing for half moon bend. Exhale to drop your shoulder blades back and down here, pressing into the soles of the feet. When you're feeling ready, on the next exhalation, reaching our fingertips over towards the right hand side, rooting into that left foot. The stretch here comes from the base of the left hip up into the left shoulders, reaching through those fingers, breathing here. That's it. Let's take one more great big deep belly breath in Ardha Chandrasana, half moon bend. Exhale to press into the right foot. Draw those hands back up towards the sky. As you do, exhale the shoulder blades back and down. They always creep up. On the next exhalation, same thing, opposite side. Drawing those fingers over towards the left this time. Pressing into the right foot here, breathing. We don't want that left hip coming out towards the side. Feeling strong through the legs, stretching through the arms. One more breath, just like this. On the next exhalation, when you're feeling ready, drawing those hands back up towards the sky. Exhale to release the hands, shake out the fingers as they come all the way back down towards the hips. You've got it. On the next inhalation, sweep those arms up towards the sky, Utthita Tadasana. Exhale to hinge at the hips, swan diving forward, coming back down into Uttanasana, forward facing bend. Catch your breath here. On the next inhalation, draw the hands towards the shins, gaze comes up towards the horizon, looking up only halfway, catch your breath. Exhale, hinge at the hips, come all the way back down towards Uttanasana, forward facing bend. From here, when you're feeling ready, we're getting ready for plank, lowering back down towards the earth. We've got the hands pressed into the mat. On the exhalation, you can walk the feet back or you can jump the feet back into your version of plank, whatever feels good. You've got it. Once you arrive in your plank, remembering that it can be any version, you can drop those knees down towards the earth, catch your breath, get some support. If you're in a fully sort of full posture here, pressing it through the heels, pressing into the palms of the hands, we're going to take one more breath in our plank pose, looking good. On the next exhalation, we're going to drop the belly down towards the earth. You can do that nice and slow. If you want to come through chaturanga, we're going to inhale to come forward on the toes. Exhale to squeeze the elbows in towards the body. Push-up style, drop the full body down towards the earth. Once you arrive, let go of the forehead, let go of the breath. Everything settles into the space now. Preparing for Sphinx pose, you can draw those hands alongside the ears here, pressing the palms into the earth. Elbows are in nice and close. On the next inhalation, inhale to lift the forehead, lift the chest, lift the heart away from the earth for Sphinx pose. Beautiful. Let's take 2 nice, great big deep belly breaths in Sphinx pose. Really nice. On the next exhalation, when you're feeling ready, release the forehead. Everything comes back down towards the earth. This time on the inhalation, bend your knees, draw the soles of your feet up towards the sky. From here, we're going to start to windshield wiper our legs back and forth. That's it. Just a bit of a different perspective here. Loosening up through the hips now. Really beautiful. So moving our legs with the rhythm of our breath. No striving or straining, just breathing. On the next exhalation, when that feels complete in your body, you can release the feet, reaching them down back towards the end of the mat, just like we did before, relaxing here. On the next inhalation, draw those hands back up alongside the ears, moving towards Cobra Pose, Bhujangasana this time. So you can always stay in your Sphinx pose, but if you're feeling ready on the next inhalation, we're gonna press into the palms of the hands, lift the forehead, lift the heart, lift the belly, extend those arms, coming into Bhujangasana, Cobra Pose. Exhale the shoulder blades back and down. You all look great. Breathing into the heart space now, Anahata Chakra. Really lovely. Let's take one more great big deep belly breath in Bhujangasana or Cobra Pose. On the next exhalation, when you're feeling ready, bend those elbows, drop everything all the way back down towards the earth. As you do on the next inhalation, we're going to press into the palms of the hands, curl our toes under, exhale to send those sits bones up towards the sky to meet me in Adho Mukha Svanasana or downward facing dog. Catch your breath here in your down dog. Let's take one breath. And on the next inhalation, we're going to put our weight into our left foot. We're going to inhale our right foot up towards the sky, leading with our heel, moving nice and slow, keeping those hip stacks for three-legged dog on the right-hand side. One breath, just like this. On the next inhalation, bend the right knee, step the right foot forward. Use your hands to help assist, drawing that right foot forward for a lunge. On the exhalation, if you want to drop that left knee down towards the earth for a little support, stay now. We're going to stay in this posture for a minute. So finding what's best in your body today. If left knee is down, that's great. If you're up on that back left foot, that's also great. Whatever feels good for you. Nice use of the blocks. If you have the blocks alongside, they always help sort of bring the floor a little closer. So settling in to your version of lunge today. If you want a little bit more of a challenge on the next inhalation, you can always sort of lift up. You can hover those right hands above the knee, knowing it's always there for support if you need it. We're looking at sort of dropping our hips towards the earth here. Weight is back in the pelvic bowl. You've got it. That's it. Breathing into that lunge. If you're really feeling it today, you can always inhale to send those arms up towards the sky, reach the shoulder blades back and down. Oh yeah, beautiful expression of crescent lunge today. Listening to that body. We're going to stay here for 2 nice, great big deep belly breaths. Release the shoulder blades back and down. Feel the weight in the pelvic bowl. 1 more breath. On the next exhalation, when you're feeling ready, let's drop those hands back down along either side of that right foot. We're going to drop our left knee this time. If you're up on the left knee, we're going to come into a bit of a hand down twist. On the next inhalation, our left hand steps in towards our right sole of our foot. You've got it. On the next inhalation, we're going to reach, send that right arm up towards the sky for a bit of a twist. Now, if that right arm feels strange up towards the sky, you can always drop it down towards the sacrum. Breathing into that. That's it. Listening to the body, feeling what feels good for you. The gaze can be over the right shoulder here. Feeling that stretch in your lunge. 1 more breath, just like this. On the next exhalation, when you're feeling ready, let's send that right hand back down towards the earth, pressing into our left hand. We're going to step it out ever so slightly here. On the next inhalation, curl your left toes under, press into the palms of your hands, step that right foot back to join the left to meet me in downward facing dog. Once you arrive in your down dog, pedal it out. Let go of that lunge. On your next exhalation, we're preparing for the same thing on the opposite side. Exhale to settle those heels down towards the earth, Adho Mukha Svanasana, downward facing dog. This time, opposite leg, we're going to put our weight into our right foot. This time on the next inhalation, left foot reaches up towards the sky, leading with our heels, stacking our hips here. Let's catch 1 breath just like this, 3-legged dog. On the next exhalation, bending our left knee, stepping our left foot forward, using the hands to help assist, positioning ourselves for that lunge on the right-hand side. You can drop that right knee down towards the mat. That's it, grab onto those blocks. Find your balance here. If you're using the hands to help assist, we're just tenting up on the fingers, making sure we're not collapsing the chest onto that left knee. We've got a nice 90-degree angle in the front left knee. We want to protect the knee joint here. So knowing that we're staying here for a couple of breaths, you can stay just like this in supported lunge. If you want to go further, you always have the option of curling those right toes under, stepping up on that back right foot. If you want to sort of reach your wings up towards the sky today, you can always press into the left foot, hover the hands above the left knee. Beautiful expressions of the posture, dropping the weight back into the pelvic bowl. On the next inhalation, you can always send those arms up towards the sky for crescent warrior. Wherever you're at in your practice is absolutely perfect. Release those shoulder blades back and down. Find the steadfastness of the pose here. Use your breath. We're going to take one more great big deep belly breath just like this. And on the next exhalation, let's drop both of those hands back down towards either side of that front left foot. We're going to drop that right knee for a little bit of extra support here. On the next inhalation, right hand comes to the inside of that left foot. You've got it. And on the next inhalation, left arm reaches, stretches up towards the sky. Little bit of a rotation, little bit of a twist here. You can drop that hand back down towards the sacrum. That's beautiful. Really nice, Sandra. Breathing into the body, finding that stretch. We're going to take one more great big deep belly breath, just like this. On the next exhalation, let's drop that left hand back down towards the mat. Open up the right hand just a little bit here, preparing for a downward dog. Exhale to curl those right toes under. Lift up on that back right foot. Press into the palms. Step that left foot back to meet the right to join me in down dog. So really releasing your downward facing dog here, pedaling both the knees. Just letting go. And on the next inhalation, when you're feeling ready, you can walk those feet forward. If you'd like to go a little further, you can always bend the knees and hop those feet up to join the hands to meet me in Uttanasana. Yeah, downward facing dog, forward bend, pardon me. Catch one breath just like this. And if you want a little bit more in the shoulders, you can always draw those hands towards the sacrum where you're gonna interlace your fingers here. And on the next inhalation, you can inhale to reach those hands over top of the head. There it is. Find your breath. Nice shoulder stretch here. Beautiful. One more breath, just like this. And on the next exhalation, let's release those hands back down alongside the body. No striving, no straining. We're going to delta wing the arms behind us, hinging at the hips. As we inhale to draw our arms up towards the sky, as if we're sort of holding the full moon between our arms, an extended mountain pose here. Utthita Tadasana, opening up through the chest. Release the shoulder blades back and down. Catch a breath here. On the next exhalation, when you're feeling ready, let's release those hands back alongside the body. We're going to come into a little bit of balance now, standing posture. So if you'd like to move over to a wall for a little bit of extra support, feeling free to do that. Taking all the time you need to settle in for a little bit of balance today. So we're going to come into sort of a tree pose, but we're going to do it nice and slow today. We're going to start by putting our weight into our right foot now. So settling into the right foot, you might want to lift and spread those toes, feeling really strong and grounded into that right foot. And let's start by inhaling to just bend the knee, drawing the knee sort of towards the chest and interlacing the fingers. As we inhale, we're going to draw that left knee in towards the chest. See how that feels for balance today. We're also going to open up the hip here. You can sort of point and flex the toes. Find a little release. Beautiful. So if this is enough balance for you, you can stay right here. But we're sort of prepping for big toe pose here. You can draw that sort of that right hand towards the belly button to help assist. Left hand stays on that left knee. As you exhale, you're going to open that left knee out towards the left hand side. That's it. Find your balance here. Beautiful. We're almost in a tree pose. We're just going to stay here for one more breath. Really nice. On the next exhalation, exhale that knee back in front. You've got it. And from here, let's transition to tree pose. So use the hands to help assist. Draw the sole of the left foot in towards that right thigh. You can draw the hands down towards the belly button to help assist. Use that wall. That looks great. And you can stay right here. Or there's lots of variations in Vrksasana or tree pose. You could always inhale to draw, reach, stretch your branches up towards the sky. If balance is super strong today and you're like, whatever, Tanya, I can do this in my sleep, I encourage you to close your eyes. And you can always sort of try like flowing in the breeze if you're outside. And don't worry, trees fall over in nature all of the time. Who cares? Wherever you're at is absolutely perfect. Let's take one more deep belly breath in our balance pose. And on the next exhalation, when you're feeling ready, let's see if we can not drop that left foot just yet, but reach that knee back in front of us. Inhale our golden eagle wings up towards the sky. And on your exhalation, Karate Kid style, let's see how slowly you can drop that left foot. You guys are doing great. Really beautiful. Oh yeah. Once it gets here, shake it out. That's a lot of balance. Awesome. Really, really well done. Same thing, opposite side when you're feeling ready. So if you're using the wall, just flip around. Now we're going to put our weight into our left foot. So lifting and spreading those toes. Finding our balance here and sort of knowing what's coming next. On the next inhalation, we're going to inhale to bend the right knee. Draw that right knee towards the chest. Use the hands to help assist to get a bit of a different stretch in the hip here. That's it. So I've got my knee really tight in towards my chest, which helps to sort of open up the hip in a different way. So playing around with that, seeing how it feels in your body. Let's take one more breath just like this. And on the next exhalation, when you're feeling ready, that left hand can come towards the belly button to help assist. Exhale to open that right hip and towards the right. That's it. You can flex the foot here. Let's catch one more breath just like this. This is prep for standing big toe pose. On the next exhalation, you can sort of release that knee a little bit. Use the hands to help assist. Draw the sole of the foot in towards the left thigh for Vrksasana or tree pose on the opposite side. You've got it. Hands can come into Anjali Mudra, prayer at heart center. They can be drawn towards the navel to help assist. If balance is strong, you can inhale those branches up towards the sky today. Wherever you are at is absolutely perfect. Find your breath. Find that sweet spot in the middle of balance, where everything feels at ease in the body. One more breath, just like this. And on your next exhalation, you can release those hands back down towards the earth. You can release the foot, but keep hovering those toes. Draw that knee out in front of you. Inhale to sweep your golden eagle wings up towards the sky. Exhale, Karate Kid style. Let's see how slowly that right heel is going to come down towards the mat. Oh, yeah. And when it gets there, shake it all out. Shake it all of that balance. Let it go. Arms grow really, really heavy now. Turn into sort of golden bags of sand beside the body. And when you're feeling ready, just allowing the weight of the arms, that's it, to carry the body from side to side. This is a really interesting expression in our body. See how much space you can create. We don't need to strain or grasp or do anything here. Just going with the movement of our body. And on the next exhalation, when you're feeling ready, let's slowly, slowly, slowly slow that down. You've got it. We're gonna prepare for a little bit of a goddess squat now before we draw ourselves back towards seated to prepare for Shavasana. So when you're feeling ready, you can step your feet to sort of the width of your mat here. We're not gonna come all the way down towards the earth just quite yet. We're just gonna come into a goddess squat. So on the next exhalation, when you're feeling ready, bend both of your knees, dropping those sits bones down towards the earth. You can inhale those arms towards the sky into cactus arms. That's it. Goddess squats, my beautiful goddess ladies. We're gonna stay here for 2 nice, great big deep belly breaths, feeling the strength in your feet, rising up into the hips. 1 more breath. Exhale to press into those feet, draw yourself back towards standing, let it go, you've got it. This time we're gonna come all the way down towards the mat. If you got a block or a pillow close by, you might wanna sort of drop it behind the sits bones to help bring the earth a little bit closer. When you're feeling ready, almost the same process. We're gonna exhale to bend both of our knees, dropping our sits bones down towards the earth. This time we're gonna draw our hands into Anjali Mudra, prayer at heart center. Release those elbows towards the knees to help assist in what's called Malasana or garland pose. So if you've got a block or a pillow, you can just sit on that. That's great. Take some of the stress out of the posture. Wherever you're at is absolutely perfect. And if you're up nice and high, that's okay. We're gonna take just 1 more great big deep belly breath, just like this. And on the next exhalation, when you're feeling ready, you can drop those hands to either side. Exhale the sits bones down towards the earth. Extend those legs nice and long. Shake out the legs, let it go. From here, when you're feeling ready, we're gonna come into a little bit of a twist now. On the next inhalation, we're gonna inhale to bend our left knee. Draw the sole of that left foot just to the outside of the same sort of equidistance to the right knee here. Beautiful. So on the next inhalation, we're gonna activate those right toes. Right toes are reaching towards the forehead. Inhale to grow the spine up nice and tall. So you can stay just like this with those hands on that knee, sort of pulling the knee into the chest, feeling that stretch. If you'd like to go a little bit further here, we're gonna move into a bind today. I'm gonna sweep my left arm in front of my left knee, reach the hand back and around. Exhale my right hand back to reach for my left fingertips. There it is. It's a bit of a crazy bind, so feeling free to stay just in this posture. Spine's nice and tall. If you want to go further, left arm sweeps in front of the knee, elbow bends, reaches back, right arm reaches back for the left. You can gaze over your right shoulder here, right toes are active, you've got it. Really beautiful. Let's take 2 nice, great big deep belly breaths just like this. You guys have all got it. Looks great. 1 more breath. On the next exhalation, when you're feeling ready, exhale to release the bind. Inhale to draw yourself up towards a neutral seat. Exhale that left leg long. Inhale to bend the right leg. Same thing, opposite side. That was really beautiful. Great job, you guys. On the next inhalation, left toes become active, reaching towards the forehead. And we've got about a fist space between our foot and our knee joint. So just checking, and we want to protect that knee joint. On the next exhalation, if you want to come into the bind, we're going to exhale to send our right arm in front of our right knee. Reach it back towards the sacrum. Left arm reaches back for those fingertips. You've got to gaze is over my left shoulder. So a bit of a twist. This is sort of a funky posture, so staying in this type of a posture is absolutely perfect. Drawing that knee in towards the body, spine's nice and tall. Or right leg reaches in front of that right knee, urging that left arm to reach for those right fingertips. Wherever you are at is absolutely perfect. Let's take 2 nice, great big deep belly breaths just right here. One more breath. And on the next exhalation, let's unwind our arms from that bind. Send our right leg long on the mat. I have sweat on my upper lip. It must mean we're working hard here. On the next inhalation, let's just shake those legs out, let it go. We're gonna do one more forward fold before we settle down. Coming into Dandasana, our staff pose, legs are nice and long here. On the next inhalation, activate those toes, activate those leg muscles, turning our legs into what I lovingly call boiled potato legs. You can stay just like this, making your body into a really nice L-shaped spine. It's nice and tall. Release your shoulder blades back and down. If you're really feeling it, you want to go for it today. On the next inhalation, reach to stretch those arms up towards the sky. Keep your shoulder blades back and down. Exhale to hinge at the hips, drawing the chest towards the thighs, just like you would for a forward bend. And exhale those hands to wherever they fall. No striving or straining. We're not grabbing with the hands. We want the hinge to come from the hip here. Head and neck are long. Chest is drawing down towards the thighs. In reclined staff pose, beautiful. You notice that the longer you breathe here, the longer that you stay here. Every inhalation, you'll find a little bit more length in that spine. Every exhalation, your heart is going to get a little closer to the earth. Let's take 2 more great big deep belly breaths, just like this. One more breath. And on the next exhalation, release those hands off towards either side of the legs, and nice and slow, as if you're stacking vertebrae upon vertebrae, draw yourself up to a neutral seat. Oh yeah. And once you get here, we're going to draw the back body down towards the mat, preparing for Shavasana. Now we're going to come into one more twist. Back body comes all the way back down towards the earth. Full release. Let the weight of your body find its way into the mat. On your next inhalation, inhale to draw those knees in towards your belly. Give your knees a great big squeeze. You can rock a little here from side to side. Massaging that sacrum, the low back, really letting go here. And when you're feeling ready, on the next exhalation, let's reach our hands out in sort of a T-shaped position. Palms are pressed down into the earth. Knees are still hovering above the belly. And when you're feeling ready, we're going to come into a double knee twist. On the next exhalation, rock both of your knees off towards the right hand slide, nice and slow, allowing gravity to do her work. Gaze moves over the left shoulder now. Double knee twist on the right hand side. And as we begin to settle in and settle down, just feeling the full effects of this posture. Using the breath, drawing it deep down into the belly, releasing all of that trapped air, whatever got stuck over the evening, let it all go. We're going to take one more great big deep belly breath, just like this. And on the next inhalation, when you're feeling ready, press into the palms of those hands, activate those abdominal muscles. Inhale to draw those knees to hover above the belly one more time. And on your next exhalation, only as you choose when you're feeling ready, same thing, opposite side. Let's exhale to rock both of our knees nice and slow off towards the left-hand side. As we do, our gaze comes over our right shoulder now. You can even gently close the windows of the eyes, fully settling in to a double knee twist on the left-hand side. Feeling that stretch in the body with your breath, using the prana. Inhale deep down into the belly. Exhale, let it go as if you're sort of wringing out a dirty dishcloth. Let's take one more great big deep belly breath, just like this. And on the next exhalation, only when you choose, when you're feeling ready, let's press into the palms of the hands, hover those knees before the belly one last time. Give those knees a great big squeeze now. And on your exhalation, when you choose, let's send those legs nice and long on our mat, preparing for Shavasana now, or final relaxation. So if you've got socks or sweaters and you want to put them on, that's great. If you've got blankets or eye pillows or anything that you need to build your throne, whatever is going to provide the optimum amount of comfort. Shavasana is arguably the most important part of our yoga practice, where we allow the body the time it needs to integrate all of the new information that we've taken on today. So when you arrive in your final relaxation pose, your version of Shavasana, let's all start out by taking a great big deep inhalation through our nose, belly rises, exhale, let it go with a great big sigh. And maybe coming through that breath one more time, great big deep inhalation through the nose. Exhale, let it go. Releasing whatever no longer serves. And allowing the full weight of the body to be supported by the earth. No more striving. No more straining. For all of the work is done now. And there's nothing left to do but relax. Nothing ever comes to rest. Everything keeps moving. Even stationary objects are moving, though we do not see it. Change is constant. That means we are not the same from one moment to another either. Our cells are constantly in the process of changing. So if I am moving through a tough situation, there is no point trying to find rest so that I can cope. That is impossible. Instead, I choose to change trajectory, to move in the direction that will lead me towards peace. That, my friends, is always attainable. And only when you're feeling ready, guided by the sound of my voice and the singing bowl, slowly inviting soft, sweet, gentle movement back into the body. Maybe beginning by slowly wiggling fingers and toes. Maybe rotating wrists and ankles. And only as you choose in your own soft, sweet, gentle time, inhale to reach, stretch those arms over top of your head as if it's the very first time that you've woken up today, releasing all the creaks and cracks and sighs. And on your next exhalation, maybe gently rocking the body off to the fetal position on one side. And resting here for one more moment of bliss, one more second of rest and of restoration. Because you, as much as anybody else in this whole great big wide universe, truly do deserve your own love and affection. And in your own time, using your hands to assist, you can draw yourself up into Sukhasana, or easy seated pose, to close our practice today. And once you arrive here, let's draw our left palm to rest gently on our heart, and our right palm to rest gently on top of the left, so that we can feel the most important rhythm in the whole wide world, the unique rhythm of our own beating heart. We're going to close our practice today to the sound of Om. I'm going to inhale to exhale, and then inhale to Om, inhale to exhale. Inhale to Om. It has been a true honor practicing with each and every one of you beautiful yogis today. Shanti, peace. And I'll unmute you all. Oh, I can't hear you. One sec. There we go. I don't know if you can hear me. Oh, there we go. I think Sandra, I can hear you now.
A lawnmower in the background.
Oh, and there you go. Jennifer's here now too. Thank you guys so much. That was really beautiful.
Thank you.
My pleasure. Any comments, questions? questions? Anybody need anything?
Nope.
Great. In
Great
which
discussion,
case,
Ray.
I hope you all have a most beautiful day. Thanks for coming out. That was really lovely. See you guys. Take care.
Bye. There.